Well, all week long, we have been digging deeper into drug addiction in Saskatoon. Joining us this morning is Faye Tomlinson. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hi, Steph.
So your son, Stefan, died of an overdose back in 2015. Can you tell us a little bit more about his story?
Well, Stefan moved out of the house a couple of years after high school and that. And, you know, you don't really think anything of it until maybe a year or two. And you notice some dramatic changes in that. And I think because he wasn't at home, you kind of just poo-poo it or whatever. But there was a change in his mood. It was, you know, he can be quite angry. There's times where he just didn't show up for months or talk, or even despite talking with him and that. And it seemed to go into a cycle and seemed to be going longer and longer. And yet when he would phone or show up, he was just as pleasant as Stefan can be. And that my husband kind of wondered if something was going on in that. But I think you hope not or whatever. And things didn't really kind of blew up in 2014 in the end there, where he was having difficulty. He had moved around quite a few times, broke up with his girlfriend, and there was just many triggers in that, and was staying with a friend. But you could see there was something going on. And it was then that his friends, we got established contact in that, and he ended up being homeless for a little bit, where we had to use the lighthouse for a few days till we could find him a place. And then he seemed to kind of be back on the road, but we did talk about, because it did come out that he was taking OxyContin. And we talked about it. It was the first time we've ever really talked about it in years. And Stefan being Stefan, no harm can come to me, Mom. I'm okay. I know my source. And I told him, you don't. That there were 2 boys before him that had passed away from a fentanyl overdose.
And that's the thing, kids in their 20s often and younger think they are invincible and think that, you know, no harm will come to them. And they trust these people that are giving them their drugs. But what do you want people to know when it comes to recreational drug use, when, you know, you think you're just going out to party with your friends?
You truly don't know where it comes from. And, you know, you may have dealt with the same dealer for a very long time. And, but your dealer, too, buys it from a supplier who, it's gone through many people before that they get to even the recreational user. They don't know. Sometimes a true addict or an addict will kind of know to maybe use it sparingly or whatever. And, but it's, like we realized afterwards that Stefan did have an addiction issue. And, but it's just, you don't want to, if you can't confront your son about it, or he always kind of puts it aside, it's hard to deal with until that year before he died. And then we kind of looked at, you know, options in that, so.
Now, what kind of effects did this have on the family, his addiction and then his death?
His addiction, it causes stress in the family. Like I know for his one sister, she just, you know, maybe she clued in a lot quicker, younger. She said, you know, he's just not the same, Mom. Not the same as when he was at home, and it's not as fun. And yet, you know, one time when she did competitive swimming, he, one afternoon, he just showed up at the pool. And he just wanted to watch her. And that was it.
Right.
And he left. I didn't think I was going to cry.
That's okay, because it's just showing the effects that addiction has firsthand, not just on the addict, but the extended family as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, you try to do everything you can, and sometimes it's just not enough. But you being here today and passing on this message, hopefully someone is watching and it will stop someone else from going down the same road Stefan did.
Yeah, like the family ties they're there. I felt very close family. We did a lot of things. But when somebody steps away or pulls back, it's hard on the family because you don't understand. Like even birthday celebrations, don't worry, Mom, I don't need a birthday cake or whatever, so I won't be coming over. So what do? You leave it, but it hurts. Christmas, the 2014 was the first time he'd been over for Christmas in a long time. And one of the comments he said as I drove him home to his place where he was living was, "Mom, I miss your cooking. Can you change that person? You can't do that." I mean, one of the things is he got in trouble with the law, and so part of the probation was he needed to see a psychiatrist. And for us, that was a huge issue. It took a long time for the referral to go through and for the psychiatrist. It was unreal for me because 6 months to me is too long.
Right.
Why it happened, I don't know. Even pursuing with a family doctor and that. But he would go to a psychiatrist. There were some things that he would do. He did go to an addiction counselor, but sometimes he just got, I can handle it on my own or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't make them, but our agreement is that you do see a psychiatrist because there are other issues going on in that. And as long as I went with him, he was okay with that. And we finally got through on one visit, and she was very good with him in the fact that he was upset when he left because I think she hit a raw nerve.
Right.
And then for his next appointment, he had passed away the week before his next appointment. So, I mean, there's some things that they will agree to, but it had to be that you come with me.
Right. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story, and hopefully someone will watch and choose not to go down that same road. So thank you for being so open and sharing your story with us.